For dosing guidelines, beginners generally start with 10 or 15 milligrams per day for 6 to 8 weeks of Ostarine. That's a good basic stack. If you are more experienced, you probably won't see much for results from that dosage. And again, I'm not giving medical advice here. These are generalized guidelines off of the internet from scouring social media. These are basic dosing guidelines that people are usually using to run Ostarine cycles. An intermediate user would be running somewhere around 20 milligrams per day for 8 to 10 weeks, and an advanced user would use up to 25 milligrams per day for 8 to 10 weeks or even longer. Although at the 25 milligram dosage, you're probably going to start seeing some side effects, primarily the lethargy and testosterone suppression. So it is important that you're cycling off after prolonged use. It's important that you're maintaining your testosterone levels at a decent level throughout the cycle by utilizing a lower dose TRT, again, not medical advice, or something like enclomiphene in order to keep testosterone production going while you're utilizing something like Ostarine. So once daily is okay. It's my preference to split dosages on most SARMs to once in the morning, once in the evening. Although with a lot of SARMs, I've talked about this in other videos before, I will just dose them one time per day pre-workout and only use them on specific workout days. Something like Ostarine is probably better run every single day because it's very mild and it's good for overall health stuff like the joints and tendons. And so utilizing it every single day is going to be more beneficial than something like maybe AC262. I like to take that pre-workout. Knowing how these SARMs work individually for your own body is going to be really important when designing a cycle, utilizing them, and using them in the right way be very important for getting the most benefit out of them. Okay. So, some stacking recommendations. Again, this is not medical advice. This is just coming off of the internet and what I've been doing. A lot of times people are stacking Ostarine with something like LGD 4033 or MK677. MK677 is going to be a base for most muscle gaining cycles because it increases growth hormone and IGF-1 levels. And in my opinion, one of the most valid or vital or important or whatever you want to call it points for utilizing MK677 is the drastic increase in hunger. In order to build muscle, you need to be eating in a calorie surplus, specifically in protein, right? You need to be eating plenty of protein. Almost everybody I talk to does a team. The average guy going to the gym, if they were to eat the proper amount of protein, that's all they would have to do to get a vast transformation in their physique. They would build way more muscle. They would have way less body fat simply by eating more protein. And to me, that is more important than taking any other supplement or SARM or anything like that. If your testosterone levels are good and you're eating plenty of protein, that's going to do way more for you than anything else on the market. If you're not eating enough protein, I don't care how much stuff you're going to take, you might improve your physique. You might even improve it drastically, but you're not going to be getting the maximum benefit out of whatever you're taking unless your protein consumption is up there. And if your diet is not clean enough, you're not going to get as lean as you'd like to be. Okay. So for cutting cycles, combining Ostarine with something like Cardarine or SR9011 or SLU PP332 could be very, very beneficial. It might also be good stacked with something like retatrutide, right? If you're trying to body fat. Again, something like retatrutide. Personally, it really zapped my appetite. So I wouldn't run retatrutide while I'm trying to gain muscle. If I was just simply trying to lose body fat, let's say I was going for a competition, I would personally run something like Ostarine with Cardarine and PP332 and retatrutide, and that would be a phenomenal stack for shredding fat rather quickly while maintaining muscle mass and staying overall pretty healthy with relatively few side effects.